Hi, I'm John Williams. We're near Lisle, Washington in the drier eastern end of the Columbia River Gorge National Scenic Area. This time, I'm going to take you to a few places off the beaten path. Recreation sites that quite honestly are a little hard to find, but I think you'll agree once you're here, it's worth your effort.
For directions to these sites, please go to the Columbia River Gorge National Scenic Area website. Our first stop is Catherine Creek. Parking is on the north side of the road. Disabled parking, although limited to one stall, is at the trailhead on the south side of the road. There are two levels of difficulty along this trail. When you come to the fork, take a left for the easier route. Interpretive signs along the way explain the history and the many species of wildflowers, birds, and other wildlife you're likely to see here. Catherine Creek is well known for its carpets of color in the springtime. Springtime is the best time to come here to experience the wildflowers in bloom. The U.S. Forest Service is continually working to reestablish the native wildflowers and vegetation to this site. It's been very dry this year here in the eastern part of the Columbia River Gorge National Scenic Area. Most of the year, you can stop right here and enjoy the falls and Catherine Creek bubbling below. Now here's where the trail gets a little more challenging. As you can see, the trail is a bit steep going down. If you choose to follow the loop around through the trees, it's doable, but because of steep inclines, it's a pretty hard push. If you're in a manual chair, you might want a little assistance here. No water is available at Catherine Creek. There's an accessible portable restroom facility available in the spring and early summer. You will endure some steep inclines, but there's something here for people of all ages and abilities. Continuing east on Old Highway 8 for about 4.5 miles, you'll come to Balfour Day Use Facility.
Balfour was the site of a Klickitat Indian village that Lewis and Clark visited in 1805 and again in 1806. Be sure to check out the interpretive signs here at the trailhead. Balfour has a fascinating history.
Balfour overlooks the Klickitat River, which is the second longest free-flowing river in Washington state. No dams block its flow. The lower 12 miles is in the Wild and Scenic River System, designated a recreation river. Here at Balfour, like at Catherine Creek, the U.S. Forest Service has been eradicating invasive weeds and restoring native trees and grasses. All season long, Balfour is popular for birds and wildlife. You may even spot a bald eagle, especially in the winter months. Balfour has a long loop trail and is comfortable for vision-impaired people, and it's accessible for wheelchairs, but note there are some steep inclines. There's a couple of picnic tables here, so bring the picnic basket. And finally, near the town of Lisle, Washington, you'll find Klickitat Rails to Trails. The U.S. Forest Service, state and local agencies, along with private contributions, have turned this old railroad grade into a perfect place for mountain bikes, horses, and family strolls. The trail to the Fisher Hill Trestle is loose gravel and pretty much requires walking. I tried parts of the trail in my wheelchair. I wouldn't recommend people using manual chairs attempt the trail. Good news though, the U.S. Forest Service plans in the near future to make a 12-foot wide, hardened surface for the first 1.6 miles from Lisle to the Fisher Hill Trestle. Check the Columbia River Gorge National Scenic Area website often. Accessible restrooms and an accessible viewpoint overlooking the Klickitat River.
Catherine Creek, Balfour, and Klickitat Rails to Trails are three perfect stops to take in the scenic views of the drier eastern end of the Columbia River Gorge National Scenic Area. And you know what? It's only an hour's drive from Vancouver on Highway 14. Thanks for watching. I'm John Williams, and I'll see you soon for another accessible journey.